Ice Cream Man checking in live and direct from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Man, as we all heard it, man, we heard Don Lemon has been arrested on multiple charges for his so-called insurrection of a church, I'm assuming. So we're gonna listen to him right now. He's just got out of court from his pending charges. Let's check out here. Let's check it out. Let's see how he addressed the nation. I'm gonna sit it over there.
If you don't have it up so hard, it won't lean over. Turn it.
I'm gonna sit straight right there. You guys bear with me. Fix it. This man, that's the reason why,
I mean,
that's good.
at least it won't fall that way.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Right, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Idea what's going on because obviously I haven't seen anything.
I
I've spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now. In fact, there is no more important time than right now, this very moment, for a free and independent media that shines a light on the truth and holds those in power accountable. Again, I will not stop now. I will not stop ever. Last night, the DOJ sent a team of...
How much do dental implants really cost? Are dental implants just too expensive?
of the Constitution protects that work for me and for countless of other journalists who do what I do. I stand with all of them, and I will not be silenced. I look forward to my day in court. Thank you all.
I knew you weren't gonna speak long. We got two people checking out the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast. Welcome to the show tonight. We just seen Don Lemon speak to the nation about his pending charges. Tell me what you think. Is he guilty or is he not guilty? What you think, baby? What you think?
Guilty as hell.
Oh, get the fuck out.
Guilty as hell.
Get the hell out of here. The man was just simply doing his job.
His job.
Simply doing his job, trying to fucking report the news, man.
He's the nosy neighbor that went into the neighbor's yard.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
When he shouldn't have even been in the damn yard.
Get the hell out of here, man.
Guilty as fuck. Exactly, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, Don Lemon live right now on his own shit.
Journalists Don Lemon and Georgia Fort were fulfilling their duty to the American people to report and inform, and they have been arrested for it. Donald Trump continues to consolidate power and show a flagrant disregard for the rule
That's
of law.
Sister Girl. She's saying
This
that.
arrest is another affront to our rights and freedoms. It should alarm and enrage us.
Yeah.
Charles, before you ask the question, please bring on our sister-in-law, Angela Rye.
Angela Rye is joining us of Native Land. Thank you so much, Angela.
Angela Rye. I fuck with Angela Rye.
You're the latest to join the conversation. Always good to see you. I just want to ask, generally speaking, Don has been released. He's out. This has been a tumultuous day. I know you've been on this live stream. I know you've been doing a host of media. What is your reaction now to seeing this after everything that's taken place today?
My reaction now is Don should have never been arrested.
Should have never been arrested. I agree.
Is the same that it was when we first learned that he could potentially be charged with the Ku Klux Klan Act of
What?
1871 as if it was ever meant to apply to a black person.
Exactly.
And for churches. Come on.
Hold on.
They didn't
Hold
just
on.
say the whole fucking act, not just
Listen.
pieces of it.
My
Listen.
reaction now
Come
is the same
on.
that it was when we first learned.
Listen.
Seeing this after everything that's taken
So Don Lemon.
My reaction
Hold
now
on,
is
y'all.
Don
Hold on.
should have-
So you mean to tell me Don Lemon was charged as if he was a Ku Klux Klansman? They got a Ku Klux Klansman act, and Don Lemon, a black man, has been charged as if he was a Ku Klux Klansman. Now I'm gonna tell you guys the reason why I can probably put some respect on that act is because for the ones who don't know, I am from Philadelphia, Mississippi. I got some roots there, and Bernie, Mississippi. That's the neighborhood that I was raised in. So when it comes to the Ku Klux Klan act of them fucking with churches and stuff like that, I can understand that act right there. But Don Lemon being charged as if he was a Klansman, man, get the fuck out of here, man. What they saying in the chat, baby?
Gosh damn, I feel like it's just the three of us in your living room.
Appreciate you, Bruce, man. I want you to stay here, man, and be one of my moderators. And I want you to hold down the chat room, man. Let's get into some conversation and some dialogue, man. I want to always say, be respectful with your comments, y'all.
Hello, everyone.
Let's get to it.
never been arrested. My reaction now is the same that it was when we first learned that he could potentially be charged with the Ku Klux Klan Act of 1871 as if it was ever meant to apply to a black person. My reaction is that Georgia Ford also should never have been arrested. And my reaction is that the other two names who we still don't know don't need to be arrested because you actually will get beat in a court of law. Any judge with any sense, with any ability to read the law, knows that the KKK Act and the FACE Act do not apply to these people. And by these people, I mean the journalists and the protesters. There was nothing done by force where they can actually litigate this and win. There's no ground for this. And so what I want us to hold on to in this moment is, yes, we are fearful. Yes, there is terrorism happening before our eyes. Yes, the January 6th were pardoned so that they can now be the insurrectionists under government with our taxpayer dollars. And if there's no other reason to fight, there is a reason to fight. So I just want us to hold on to hope in this moment. Congratulations to our brother Don. He is absolutely going to be the person lifted up, the hero that Matt Walsh hates to see coming, and we are grateful for it. And I just also want to caution Attorney
Two
General
felonies, that's
Cameron
crazy.
that you sit in J. Edgar Hoover's building or
That's
wherever.
what Don Lemon been charged with, two felonies?
Continue to operate
Yeah,
as
that's what
J.
someone
Edgar
said on
Hoover
here.
operated. But we know what we deserve. We know what the law says, and we are going to force this country to be true to what it said on paper.
Well spoken, Angela. I want to play again Don's remarks just from a minute ago because they were short but powerful, and I wanted to really take a second listen because the first time maybe didn't do it justice. Do we have that? Yeah, there we go. Audio.
That's set. Yes, everybody ready? So look, I want to thank
How
everybody.
many people watching this right now, baby?
8.
Well, I have no idea what's going on because obviously I haven't seen it. I've spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now. There is no more important time than right now, this very moment, for a free and independent media that shines a light on the truth and holds those in power accountable. I will not stop now. I will not stop ever. Last night, the DOJ sent a team of federal agents to arrest me in the middle of the night for something that I've been doing.
I need to find a Valentine's gift fast.
Like the plan.
I stand with all of them, and I will not be silent. I look forward
Losers
to
surrounded by losers. I agree.
Nadine, would love to get your reaction. Hearing it a second time.
Yeah,
What stands out to you?
a couple of things, especially because the prosecutors tried to get the judge to say he can't travel. He's got to get permission. I think the judge rejected all of that except for international
So
travel.
he can't travel now.
He can't travel internationally.
They don't want
That's
him
some
doing what he
bullshit.
does so well. They don't want him on the ground with a microphone.
He's a felon now.
And
Well,
create
he will
those
be.
moments that are sort of unique to his personality. And you know, as somebody, my first career was as a reporter.
Our president is a fucking 32 time felon.
37.
And I
37
was
time
a
felon.
journalist, have a history.
And he can still travel outside the motherfucking country.
He's the president.
Fuck out of
He
here.
has to by his job.
So,
Fuck
we have
out
to
of
understand
here.
this as an attack on black journalists, very specifically.
It's not an attack on black journalists. Stop.
It is.
It is not.
And this is going to get.
They mad 'cause no-
They would have arrested freaking
That is going to get worse, especially as.
Anderson Cooper if he would have done the same damn
and
thing.
AI begin to do their work.
No,
And
they
it
wouldn't,
has
because he worked for CNN.
It doesn't matter.
Don Lemon worked back for himself.
Structurally-
They mad Don Lemon got the deal from the story first before he
Reality
did.
distorting
Before they
what's
did.
coming our way. But we are already seeing black creators. I saw
That's what this is all about.
at his entire platform spoofed very credibly. It looked like him. It sounded like him. He was wearing one of his favorite shirts. And you know, saying
These folks mad because Don Lemon went and got the scoop on the news first before they did.
Oh, BS.
Vote by mail. We're gonna march on election day to have credible voices telling people things. And we have to get into a mindset, not of simply debunking what is not true, but pre-bunking. a kind of
34
literacy
manufacturing
that has to say,
felonies.
I don't
Oh.
share things until
I don't know. This is what this.
We
Yeah.
have to we gotta be ready for what's coming, but it is a piece of this entire effort to clamp us all down under a propaganda dome. And we've gotta hold on to independent journalism. We have to hold on to those voices that are loud enough to punch through. I love seeing all of the people who are donating right now, who are becoming Lemonheads. There's a way in this moment that we can do what the far right has always done, which is lift up their ecosystem. We need, you know, Jolly, we need all of the influencers, all of the people who are speaking truth to power to be successful, visible, and with a louder and louder megaphone. And Color of Change
Is
is
it
a large
George?
online racial justice organization, and we're going to lean into that role
Got some
and take our
Georgia.
place
That's
as a
good.
trusted beacon in the middle of this
Oh,
nation.
I was just gonna look at Wad Figgs
Angela,
on it.
you're a co-host on.
Well, you'll be
wanting
next time.
No, go ahead.
A bunch of other things and always
Oh,
have.
yeah. I get
Yeah, you'll need it. Well, I'm good. I got it on here.
Pam Bondi, specifically Harmony Billing, going after two independent journalists because you're on a with Native Land. That's a non-legacy platform. It's a non-legacy form of media. Can you talk about how deliberate, intentional, and purposeful it is for them to target independent journalism and what that says to you about how important independent journalism and those voices are in this?
All right, look, I don't know who needs to hear this, but my man just tried.
Wonders why people are saying that they are trying to form a dictatorship. Well, look at the landscape. Arresting Don Lemon, who covered a protest in Minneapolis, is just insane, ridiculous, dictator-like.
Oh, God.
That
They're all part of the same
dictators use
community, though.
to destroy democracies and take the will of the people away. It is as simple as that. The First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason. It is considered
Oh, shit.
Freedom of
the
speech.
Third Amendment when you have to start balancing what's more important. The framers of the Constitution knew that a free press was essential to a democracy. Without a free press, you don't have a democracy. And it's real clear that Donald Trump and company doesn't want a free press. The idea that a journalist, which Don Lemon has been for 30 years, would walk into a church and film a demonstration which is of national interest, and then to say somehow, when you watch the video, they say he's part of the protest. What?
Just like I said, these folks are pissed because Don Lemon went and got the story first. Fox News would have wanted this story first. CNN would have wanted this story first. This is a witch hunt against.
Oh, God.
It is. I'm telling you. This is a witch hunt against Don Lemon, y'all. Simple as that. This man was just simply doing his job, reporting what the hell was going on in the nation, and he was the first one to get it. That's all this is about, man. Trumped up charges.
Oh, poop.
That video, he is covering the protest. He is covering it. That's what journalists do. I covered riots. I was a local reporter in Los Angeles for 15 years, and I covered riots and floods and earthquakes and all sorts of things where I had to step into areas where there were police, where there was activity, private property. When you're covering an event like this, like a protest, which I've covered many, you step into it. And that's what journalists do. And that's what Don Lemon did. The idea that the Justice Department said he walked onto private property, that is insane. A church invites everybody in.
But when they ask you
Ever
to
seen
leave,
a
you
church
have to
with no
leave.
trespassing sign saying no journalists allowed? Have you ever seen any house of worship that says that? It is insane, insane that they're making this stupid argument transparent. And yet, a grand jury indicted Don Lemon after a magistrate said there's insufficient evidence. Well, a grand jury will indict anybody because Don Lemon doesn't appear before the grand jury. Abby Lowe, his lawyer, doesn't appear before the grand jury. The Justice Department says what the Justice Department wants the grand jury to believe, and almost every time they believe it. It's all the way it's skewed. This is a ridiculous assault. I don't want to say just on the First Amendment. It's a ridiculous assault on democracy. Trump administration should be ashamed of itself, but they're not. And they will continue to do this. And they are going after journalists. They're getting search warrants for their homes. It is obvious what's happening in this country, people. Look at what is happening. You're going to look back in 2 years if somebody doesn't stand up to them. I know people are now, but you're going to look back in 2 years and say, wow, we didn't see that coming. Well, Neville Chamberlain should have saw it coming, and he didn't. And we don't want to be in that position. So wise up, everybody, because it's obvious what's happening here. This is an outrage.
We're outraged. We pissed.
Not all, but some of them wanted to see. And I think that is, for better or for worse, some of the context what we're seeing this morning. It is, the First Amendment is meant to protect both the reporter's right to report, but also a congregation's right to worship. So legal experts might say this is somewhat complicated, although Lemon said all along and he did a really important job showing people, all of us now can watch the video, what happened inside that church. I want to back up to that Sunday morning. That intrusion into City's church was sincerely shocking to many, many millions of Americans, and myself included. People, saw that video, they saw Lemon's video, and they were uncomfortable by what happened inside that church. The idea that worship service was disrupted by protesters. And now there's a very interesting debate about whether the protesters were right or they were wrong to go into the church. But that is a political debate, and that's a debate about what forms of protest are effective. The Trump administration is moving that political debate into the legal arena and wanting to take it into court. and have a court fight. And we know there have been these attempts to arrest some of the other protesters last week who were there. And now we have these arrests of these reporters who documented the scene. I'm reminded of what one of Lemon's friends, Jennifer Welch, said to her on a podcast. Lemon was talking to Welch, and Welch said to Lemon, quote, "You are a prize for them, an independent, gay, black, happy, successful man. And this is an attempt to intimidate and beat you down." So that's how Lemon's friends see this situation. This attempt to charge him, and now this actual arrest of Lemon. He's in jail in LA now, as an attempt to target another Trump foe. And let me also quote our colleague Larry Madolo, who's based in Nairobi, who covers Africa for CNN. He wrote on X a few minutes ago, "This arrest is a gift to authoritarian governments worldwide, who can now justify arresting journalists they don't like because even America does it."
Yeah, that is stark. It is reality. There is, as we have spoken about, the potential of a major chilling effect, although I certainly am not going to shut my mouth. I know that you won't either. There are many journalists that will continue to call a spade a spade. But there is a definite fear here, especially for those who are independent journalists who are smaller, who don't have an apparatus around them as they are out in the streets, or if they go into buildings, whether or not they
By the
are
way,
protected,
Sarah, you don't mind
and whether they
interrupting.
have the means. Sure.
We have heard, by the way, from Pam Bondi moments ago. She said Lemon's arrested. She mentions Georgia Fort. She mentions 2 other individuals, she says, all arrested in connection with what happened at the church. So the Attorney General now confirming these arrests. She says 4 people were taken into custody.
And we know that one person who was arrested, a protester, was a former NAACP president locally here, Nakima Levy-Pounds. She was let out, and she is disputing that they went into church without permission.
The department is devoting its time, attention, and resources to this arrest, and that is the real indictment of wrongdoing in this case. Again, I'm directly quoting from Don Lemon's attorney here. The statement ends by saying, "This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment, transparent attempt."
All right, guys, we got 7 people checking out the Neighborhood Superstar podcast, man. We all see Don Lemon has been arrested and released, facing 2 felony charges. I don't know exactly the charges that he's facing. Something associated with the Ku Klux Klan Act, which is outrageous that a black man could be charged with the same crime as a Ku Klux Klansman. That's fucking crazy, y'all. But what I want to really get into tonight, man, is the new video of Alex Freddie. Does it change your opinion on his death? You know, the man was, as we all see, executed by ICE agents, and he had a gun on him. He had the gun on him, but these folks just released a second video of him kicking up some dust with the guys, the ICE agents, a day before, prior to the situation. So my question to y'all is, does your feelings change of what he's done? Let's check it out. This new video, y'all. Look at him spitting, talking shit.
You are seeing video of a man who's believed to be Alex Freddie kicking a federal agent's
Jay Hansen, you said you have no idea what really happened. Are you speaking to me? I saw what happened. If you're talking to me, I'm just strictly asking the question. that now that you see him kicking the vehicle, knocking out the vandalizing federal property, because that is federal property, spitting, we all know that that's human indecency to spit on someone. So he spit towards them. Now, he didn't spit on any officers or so, but we all know how spitting is. It's degrading. But my question to everybody was, do this put any kind of do you see, like, oh, does this, what am I trying to say, baby? What I'm trying to say, I guess, is, does he deserve what he got? Because personally, they could have killed him that day.
Yeah. I don't think he deserved what he got that day.
I don't think he deserved to be murdered the way he was, is what I'm saying. So, but had they knocked him off when he did what he did on this video I'm about to show you guys, it would have been problem resolved. Look what he was doing to us. But from the video they showed of the day of the incident, that didn't look like a fucking a person that deserved to die. Not in my personal opinion.
To be 11 days before he was killed.
Now, what if that guy would
have?
What if that guy would have got out of that car and knocked him off?
After the incident on camera.
This evening, a Homeland Security official says they're aware of the footage and reviewing it. Our Jeff Wagner's here with more of that new video. Jeff.
Frank, the news movement worked with the BBC, who used facial recognition technology to match Freddie's identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. And then our national confirm team took a look at it too. TNN was in town shooting a documentary on ICE activity in Minneapolis. They say they got a tip that ICE was blocking the road near East 36th Street and Park Avenue, just a few blocks away from where Renee Good was killed. In the video, the man resembling Freddie appears to spit at the SUV filled with federal agents and yells expletives. He then kicks out the taillight. That's when agents get out and take him down to the pavement. During the scrum, federal agents fire tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. Take a listen.
So they could have kept him there. And it probably would have been justified. What you think, baby? It'd have been justified to let him knock him off right then and now.
They actually did what they did right. But they could have got a body that day.
They could have got a body that day, a free body that day. Look, he could have been skipped that day.
After nearly 30 seconds, the man is released, and you can see what appears to be a gun in a holster on his hip. His outfit also looks similar to what Freddie was wearing the day he was killed. He sticks around as the camera person retreats while tear gas fills the air.
That man had 24 hours to live.
Soon drive away. Important to note here, we don't know what happened before this video started.
Shit.
CBS is still working to confirm a report from
Delta said he was causing problems a week before the shooting. So do you believe he deserved what he got? Delta, you believe he deserved to be? I think it was murder. You think
he was an agitator. They did confirm that, though.
I mean, yeah, they did confirm that. They confirmed that he was an agitator. They definitely confirmed that he was an agitator, but did he deserve to be murdered the way he was? He was allegedly shot 10 times. I don't think so. I think this was cold-hearted murder based on that day, because the man had his hand up, he had a cell phone in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Protecting a woman, stop.
CNN that Freddie broke a rib during that encounter. As for the shooting that killed him, Homeland Security today confirmed the 2 agents who opened fire were placed on leave, Frank.
And we don't know if he was detained after that incident or at the time or just for moments. I guess those are still questions that need to be answered. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep following this.
Mainstream leftist media has hit rock bottom and started digging. Their determination to smear the Trump administration has seen news anchors behave like this. Here's CNN's Jake Tapper.
So you have an issue with the First Amendment. You don't think that people should be exercising their First Amendment rights to speak about policies that they don't like. You have a more of a problem with that than you have with people killing American citizens.
Look
Did
what
I
they
get
made
that
me
right?
do.
Jake, you actually think you have a First Amendment right to blow a whistle in the ear of a law enforcement, to disobey a lawful command from law enforcement, to interfere with a law enforcement investigation, to carry a gun without a proper ID or license as is required under Minnesota law, and then to violently resist arrest? You think you have a First Amendment right to do all that, Jake?
So you think that he should have been killed? It was all his fault?
Damn.
That was Jake Tapper being schooled by former Trump official Chad Mizell.
That was a bold-ass fucking question.
Pushes back against conservatives making rational, factual points. Compare that to how he behaves with the left, like this guy.
I understand that, but they take people to Fort Snelling here, which literally was built as a concentration camp, and Alligator Alcatraz, which I think we can all agree is a concentration camp. Not saying they're Dachau, I'm not saying they're putting people in ovens yet, but these are concentration camps.
Okay. I
don't need to argue.
He ain't trying to hear that shit.
Just disgraceful stuff from CNN and Russian collusion hoaxer Jake Tapper, but he is not alone at being a lefty losing it on that station. Here is another anchor.
I don't get the whole left and right shit though, man. That's one thing I hate about American politics. I just hate that.
Compared to how she reacted when Donald Trump was almost assassinated.
Ilhan Omar in particular has been the center, and you heard it there from the president, the center of a lot of awful attacks. He called her garbage. Donald Trump is actually responsible for the vitriol. So is there going to be any acknowledgement of that? Should there be? It's not about the politics of the individual. I mean, look at these people. The thing that they have in common is their complete lack of mental stability. Why is that not the conversation? Why are we in this place of who's to blame? Is it the Democrats or the Republicans? The Republicans aren't trying to assassinate the Democrats. And a lot of talk of they. And then when it's not a they, it's just a person. It's an individual.
And staying with CNN, they're now giving a platform to people too crazy for MSNBC, including this ignorant nincompoop who seems to think it was a right-winger who murdered Charlie Kirk.
Also not forget, Charlie Kirk was murdered, the president.
Not by a left-wing extremist. That person espoused very right-wing.
Look, if you look at the targets, if you look at people in office, there's
the right.
Do you think the guy who killed Charlie Kirk was a left wingist or right wingist?
Well, he was a lefty.
Listen what this guy said.
There's people.
You know, that's why.
Listen what this dude said.
Including this ignorant nincompoop who seems to think it was a right-winger who murdered Charlie Kirk.
You say he was a right wingist or what?
No, he was a lefty.
Was murdered, the president.
Not by a left-wing extremist. That person espoused very right-wing.
Look, if you look at the targets, if you look at people in office, there's
the right. That's the right.
People.
You know, that's
what is a leftist?
A bit more liberal, not to the liberal side.
What the fuck is a liberal?
Baby, that's a long discussion.
Oh my god.
It is. I can't just.
Somebody in the chat room, tell me what is a leftist and what is a rightist, and what's a liberal and a conservative from y'all perspective. I'm just getting y'all opinion on what is a leftist and what is a rightist. How many leftists we got in the chat room tonight? And how many rightists we got in the chat room?
Righties, lefties.
Righties, lefties. Put an R if you're a righty. Put an L if you're a lefty.
Come on with the R's. Whoop, whoop.
And let me know if you're a conservative or you're a liberal. What's the difference in between them both?
Come on, conservatives.
Oh my God.
Lies about Charlie's murderer matter because simpletons like Tiffany Cross heard it and believed it, and to this day continue to repeat it. And Tiffany Cross has also been on CNN inciting violence against ICE agents by claiming they are militia and white supremacists.
Did you just say ICE officers are militia?
Yes, have you not been paying attention?
Yeah, I
they
think
certainly
you're
mirror
stretching it a
the
little
Gestapo.
bit. No, that's very.
I don't think I'm stressing anything. I think we have seen what we have not seen. What we have not seen are gang members committing violence. What we have seen are ICE agents.
You're saying that things. You're just making.
Shout out to Corinne Kelly, say he was an agitator. Fuck him.
But you gotta be careful. That's not.
Wait, there was some support.
Now that I
serving the government.
let me pause this right quick.
Risking their lives, serving the government.
now that I see the second video, but I see him out there kicking up dust, hours, 24 hours before he was actually, before he was murdered. He wasn't a peaceful protester, from what I saw. But at that very moment where he, so I'm about to break it down to you guys. Here you go, baby. I'm about to break it down to you guys. Now that I've seen the other clip. When I saw the first video, I saw an innocent person who was out there protesting, who didn't have any dangerous weapon on him. Yeah, he had a phone in his hand, and you can use the phone as a weapon, whatever. But I didn't see any gun on him until they said he had a gun on him. And from what I seen the officer escalate the situation by pushing a woman, and when he pushed the woman, Alex, seems like to me, he went to go see if the lady okay, and then that split second he turned around and started facing the agitator police officer, the one who basically started all this, started at that very moment, and he started spray painting them. Started spraying them. I'm sorry for saying spray painting, but it was coming out like fucking spray paint, but he started spraying them. And then what I saw Alex do with his phone in his hand, he had his hand up, so I didn't see any weapons. Now, that's the first video. Now, with the second video, hours before he was killed, 24 hours or so before he was killed, when he was unalive, I'm seeing him being an agitator. Now, I'm wondering now this is my thoughts and opinions on this right here. I'm wondering, me being a military man, I know when they get together, they tell what they experienced out there in the streets the day before. I'm wondering if they say, okay, we got pictures of this motherfucker or this motherfucker right here. We know this motherfucker right here, he did some damage to our truck the other day, hours ago. So we need to watch out for this guy. And then when, goddamn it, he started fucking getting out there bucking this thing, he can buck the system. That's when they said, okay, this guy was an agitator yesterday. This guy's a problem. Now that I'm seeing both videos. But all in all, in my personal opinion, nothing is going to happen to the ICE agents that killed him. I'm wondering, was it just one that shot him? But they say he was shot over 10 times. I think I picked out the actually guy who started off with the shooting. I think I picked him out in the first video, personally. But all in all, man, I don't think this dude deserved to lose his life at that very moment. But on the psychological side of the game, I feel like them ICE agents remembered him from what he did the day before. And they said, okay, this motherfucker is a threat. Let's go ahead and kill this motherfucking ass. We got every reason to do it. But it's no wonder that he didn't get knocked off the day before. Let's get back to the story, y'all.
You're calling a Proud Boy militia. Did you say that? Well, I did not call a Proud Boy militia.
Shout out to Ball. My wife said, my wife slick told me that I'm talking too much. But Ball Striker Bando, that's called debriefing and briefing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So I got somebody paying attention to what I'm saying. They know exactly what I'm saying. It's called debriefing and briefing. Exactly. Sound like a military man to me.
There are white supremacist tattoos on there.
White supremacist.
Oh shit. White supremacists.
You're just making a supposition here. There's no concrete evidence
You gotta be careful, that's what,
Wait, there was some support. There was some support.
Serving the government. We have seen white supremacists
Risking their lives, serving the government, and you're calling a Proud Boy militia, did you say that?
I did not call them a Proud Boy militia, but I think it's disgraceful that you're sitting here. I'm actually not, but I think that there are white supremacist tattoos on their.
White supremacist federal officers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's,
I can believe it.
Going with this. Why would you say that?
What does one say? Notice Abby.
I think he was antagonizing her to make her continue on. He knows what was really going on. I think that's what he was doing.
Inject some sort of sanity.
And she fed into it.
Now let's come home to Melbourne, Australia, where waving the Australian flag and being proud of your country can see you attacked like this.
You okay?
Where's the most guy?
I have to be proud of my country.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Well, then why do you guys Palestine?
Well, let's see, I don't know, because there's a genocide there that this country is funding.
Hey, stop yelling.
What about all these people that are still dying in custody? What about the fact that this country is built on stolen land? You know
Damn.
what does that mean?
Good point.
Good thing you're standing in the shade, because I know that you're so white because you don't belong here. You're European. This is indigenous land.
Unbelievable, and really shame on the men there who stood around and listened to that unhinged diatribe and said nothing, did not step in to defend that woman. You know, where is chivalry? Where are the men these days? Now, staying in Melbourne, let's go to the Australian Open, and even a Grand Slam tournament is not safe from lefties losing it, making utter pests of themselves with questions like this to tennis star Taylor Fritz.
There's a lot happening back home in the U.S. and
Who's this guy?
For a lot of the last year, and I'm just kind of wondering how you're feeling about all of it.
Oh, he's a tennis player.
I mean, I'm not sure what we're like specifically talking about, but there is a lot going on in the U.S. and I don't know. I feel like whatever I say here is gonna get put in a headline, and it's
probably
gonna get taken out of context. So I'd really rather not.
Yeah.
Do something that's gonna cause a big distraction for me in the middle of the tournament.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can say, young man. Don't fuck yourself over, because that's what they want you to do. He must be from Minnesota.
His media pass at the Australian Open to push his pathetic political ideology and being a little lefty pest. Hard to take that out of context. Let's hear the same sort of question being posed to Amanda Anisimova, who tries to give an honest answer, but he doesn't like it.
I've been asking a lot of the American players just how it feels to play under the American flag right now, and I'm curious how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in America, so I'm always proud to represent my country. And yeah, a lot of us are doing really well, and it's great to see a lot of, you know, great athletes on the women's side, on the men's side. So yeah, I feel like we're all doing a great job representing ourselves.
But the far left hack masquerading as a tennis reporter wasn't satisfied with a real answer. He wanted his anti-Trump moment. So he had another go, and Amanda here really deserves a trophy for not rolling her eyes at this clown.
Sure. Sorry, just to clarify a little, I mean, sort of in the context of the last year of everything that's been happening in the US, does that complicate that feeling at all?
They're trying to set these young athletes out, man, by asking them these political questions instead of asking them about their tennis match. Listen to them how they're trying to set them out, y'all.
Amanda, one of the unique things about tennis is
Yes, a report asking a tennis question to a tennis player at a tennis tournament. How quaint. But the petulant pest was back with the same tired old line of questioning, and this time it was Madison Key's turn.
Yeah, this is a pretty sensitive subject, but you know, the U.S. is a year into the second Trump administration now, and a lot of people are suffering, and I'm wondering how you're feeling about things back home personally, and specifically what the mood is like in Florida.
Yeah, that's a tough question. I feel, you know,
I don't know, I don't like to kind of dabble too much into politics just because it's just not the space that I really want to say that much on. But yeah, I just hope that everybody can kind of at some point.
Shout out to Crazy Crab. Crazy Crab said, I love how people are still defending Trump after what happened with the Epstein files today. I totally agree with what you said.
I haven't heard anything about the Epstein files yet today. I know they released them, but I don't know what all was in them. And until I do my research.
They say Donald Trump SA'd a 13-year-old woman, tied her up, and viciously SA'd her orally on the oral side of the game, and the girl said that she bit him, giving him oral, and they both laughed, and he was threatening her, telling her if she run her mouth, he gonna do something to her mama and her daddy.
Oh, for God's sakes!
That's what they put out there.
The DOJ put that out there.
Crazy Crowd said, not just that, the calendar girls with the Vlad situation with Epstein and Maxwell at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, the DOJ put it out, then removed the incident. Of course they did.
ICE, US politics.
Of course they did.
Libertarian handled this well. Note the look of disdain on his face.
It's also interesting that you're both second-gen immigrants to the US. Like, in the context of everything that's happening at the moment with Trump and ICE, like, what does your heritage mean to you, and how important are immigrants to America and American sport today?
Sorry, I don't.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about that right now.
Exactly. Why are they asking these people?
But there are always tennis players keen to play politics, and among them is Coco Gauff. And she was not only keen to play politics, but to play the victim.
Look who's got a new uniform
pretty
on.
outspoken about political issues, and I'm curious how you feel about this.
That's somebody else.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was Luca.
Yeah, they do have a
I mean, I think I've already stated my opinions in the past on how I feel about it.
You got the black ones on.
All right. I noticed the front was
yeah,
different. I seen Luca and I didn't see the gold. I was like, what the
have
hell?
a lot more peace in our country. I feel a bit fatigued talking about it just because of the fact that
they're trying to get these young athletes in trouble, man. They're trying to catch them up. This is some bullshit. Whether you're a lefty or a righty or whatever, this is some bullshit.
Very hard as a black woman in America in 2026. Coco Gauff is the highest paid female athlete in the world right now. She reportedly earned more than $30 million last year, most of it through endorsements.
Hold on, let me hear what you're saying, because this lady said so much black shit.
But to play the victim.
You're usually pretty outspoken about political issues, and I'm curious how you feel about the state of the U.S. 1 year into the second Trump administration.
I mean, I think I've already stated my opinions in the past on how I feel about it. And yeah, I mean, I hope forward that we can have a lot more peace in our country. I feel a bit fatigued talking about it just because of the fact that it is hard also, I think, being a black woman in this country and having to experience things even online and seeing your marginalized communities being affected.
Yes, very hard as a black woman in America in 2026. Coco Gauff is the highest paid female athlete in the world right now.
Because she's got money doesn't make it. That makes her lifestyle easier. But her still being a black woman in America still is a shitty fucking deal for black women in America.
And she just said it. She's capitalizing off her talent.
Yeah, but she's just like, oh, feel sorry for you. Yeah. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. But at the same time, they found the one when they got to her, the one that explained themselves. Because if you listen to how the lefties was trying to I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to my crowd here. If you listen to how the lefties was trying to trap the other people were smart, but Coco, she started giving them what they wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? Now she has some good valid points, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure she's still dealing with her issues as being a black woman
Yeah.
But yeah, she made $30-something million as a tennis player. She capitalized off her talent.
Yeah, so yeah, she's talented.
You know,
but she's still going to catch the same shit.
Of course, yeah.
So, taking her out of a black woman category makes no fucking sense. It's because she's she's rich. She's still a black woman, and she still deals with bullshit.
But do you? The moral of the question is, do you think how the lefties these lefties was asking these tennis players instead of asking them about the fucking although this is a sound bite, they probably asked them about the fucking game or whatever. But do you think it's wrong for them to be asking them about some political bullshit that's going on?
And LeBron James would love for them to start asking him that.
That sounds like some fucking bullshit. LeBron James dance all over the fucking goddamn. You know, that's a whole fucking different thing. But my whole
Please ask me how I feel about blah, 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 blah.
My whole point right there is a lot of to me, they was trying to catch those young kids into some bullshit and see what they're saying. Then when Coco came, she fed into what they wanted to talk about. That's my opinion.
Most of it through endorsements in racist America, where she is apparently marginalized, given strength.
Damn.
So much money, she can afford
that's
to
a good
do
one.
this. Here she is a couple of days ago in Melbourne, absolutely losing it. Now, let's look at the left's idea of a peaceful protester. Someone they describe as a gentle soul who's just observing and protecting.
Oh, shout out to Mobile Bakersville. She said, I'm Australian. That Rita woman is a stain on Australian media. Sky News here is a huge embarrassment. I apologize to you all for her total BS. I can't stand that stupid cow. Wow. I'm glad you said that. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast. I really don't pay attention to this news. This just was on the topic that I was speaking about on this particular topic. But wow, that's pretty interesting that you said that this is fake news. This is bullshit news over in Australia. Sky News from an Australian person.
Oh,
shout out to Australia.
Showing a man who appears to be Alex Preddy interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy.
Yes, the man believed to be Alex Preddy spat on law enforcement, and then as they drove away, he
Look,
in
see,
the tail light.
See, when they got out their car,
expletives and threats.
When they got out their car, they could have killed him right there.
Let's have a look at a little more of this footage.
Federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36th and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. Arrived around 10 p.m. We saw observers shouting agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Preddy was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
That's a gun on his waistline.
Interesting, and somehow, despite the violent antics you just saw, the man in that video, reportedly Alex Preddy, was not arrested. Yesterday, we brought you a report from CNN who said Preddy had been injured in a tussle with federal agents a week before he was fatally shot at another violent protest.
Alex Preddy had a physical encounter with federal agents about a week before he was shot and killed by law enforcement. Sources tell CNN that Preddy broke a rib when a group of federal officers tackled him while he was protesting.
Let's bring in documentary filmmaker Army Horowitz. Army, it's not clear yet whether the violent interaction we just saw was the same one CNN were reporting on, where Preddy suffered a broken rib. But it's clear that these protests in Minnesota are not peaceful, they're not organic, they're very well planned and executed uprisings.
Yeah, he should not have been.
Y'all hit that like button.
We
Got 13 people checking out the Neighborhood Superstar Podcast. Let's hit that like
I
button.
heard that reporting that you just had with Damon Bash.
And Dana Bash started that conversation with, he was protesting and they broke his ribs. No, that's not what happened, okay? He was protesting and then kicked in the taillight, attacked a vehicle full of federal agents. They came out and they took him down and then his rib broke. That's the way this thing broke down. But he should have been jailed, right? That's why he should have been killed.
Yeah,
because
that's a good point.
He wasn't arrested at that point.
That's a good point right there. You hear that?
No.
That's a damn good point. Listen to this guy.
Attacked a vehicle full of federal agents. They came out and they took him down and then his rib broke. That's the way this thing broke down. But he should have been jailed, right? That's why he should have been killed, because I don't understand how he wasn't arrested at that point. I mean, I know why, because they had so much other stuff to deal with, because these protests are going everywhere.
That's a great point right there, y'all.
They can't be
That's a great point.
And they can't arrest every single one of these people, otherwise...
Tony Khan just said he wasn't protesting, he was spitting on people and kicking tail lights out. Hey, there you go. That's true.
The capacity for violence, these people on the left, has no bounds, okay?
Kicking a vehicle, breaking the tail light, also does not allow for a federal agent to use deadly force, which I agree with as well. Because he didn't do nothing at that particular time, but just like that dude just said, had he went to jail for damaging federal property, he wouldn't have been killed the day later. But let's finish it up with Kenneth said. He said it's a property damage crime that carries restitution and at the most 24-hour hold. Well, he died 24 hours later.
11 days or something.
Oh, it was 11 days later?
I think it was something like that.
Oh, shit. I thought that was...
that wasn't the same day, or that was the week.
I thought that was the next day. Oh, okay.
I think they said 11 days. You guys let us know, but I think it was 11 days.
Exactly. And Ball Striker said exactly, and that's a good way to catch an ass whooping at the least.
Yeah. They could have whooped his ass. It's not AI.
Money to murder ICE agents, okay? I was very clear about the use of proceeds. They were happy to give me money to kill ICE agents. This is what they want. They want blood on the street. This is what these federal agents have to deal with on a day-to-day basis here, okay? It doesn't help when you have Democrats and the media continue to use Nazi imagery when comparing these federal agents. It's so disgusting. It's so beyond the pale. As to your question regarding this being pre-planned, yes, it is pre-planned. When I was in Minneapolis, I saw carpools of people coming to these spots and letting people out. I saw pre-printed signs being taken off of trucks for being used. Of course, this is all pre-planned, this is all pre-funded, and when this is all over, there needs to be an investigation how this went down, and people need to go to jail. Look, Rita, if you go, the same things happening in Minneapolis are happening all over the country at the same time. Now, you're not hearing about it in red states because this is done with no problem. The states help the U.S. government give access to criminals, and then they deport them.
Still held down by 5 agents, disarmed by 6, and then shot by 2 others. He says use of force. I totally agree with you, Kennedy. Totally agree with you, because that's different than what he was doing with the kicking and spitting. Totally agree with you.
Maybe will be, but we fell into a trap.
That's why I started out this show tonight with asking the question: does that second video, does it give him any sympathy? Should we have sympathy for him for being murdered? Since we're seeing what he was doing out there before. That guy said, you don't have to watch Sky News to get your opinion told to you like a retard. Yeah, I get it. I don't really watch Sky News. I was just actually checking it out, seeing what was up.
That was happening in most parts of the country. But what the Democrats did was they were smart. They said, well, we're not going to help you. We're not going to give you access to these criminals.
I normally watch Fox News.
And that's when the whole thing flipped. And that's
News Nation.
I'm not saying that
CNN, you know.
They should be.
MSNBC, NBC, any of the others really. I watch Sky News because
into the Democratic trap set up by them beautifully.
Because they report on the same shit everybody else is reporting on. It seems like.
Yeah.
All right, look, I don't know who needs to hear this, but my man just tried that.
Physically engage with someone. You also are supposed to carry your license on you, and you're supposed to have ID on you. All right,
And you're trained
Yes.
specifically for this, by the way. I was a CPL instructor for years.
Okay, so
And
you know about it.
the thing is, there's a framework here, if you don't mind if I add to your framework. The framework here is this is a mathematical formula. So I've been following these extremely closely live and looking at how this is done. Let's go backwards in time. You remember what was going on in California. Nobody died in California. There was an ice raid on a Home Depot, and they went nuts. And they started smashing police cars. They were starting fires, right? This was not over somebody dying. And now the narrative, they're trying to make the narrative shift. The Gestapo's in here, murdering American citizens. Well, and what was going on in California then? Because there was no American citizens getting murdered there. What was going on there was they did an ice raid in a Home Depot, which anybody who's been to California knows that, it used to be that you drive down the street and they would all hang out in front of the Home Depot.
views on this motherfucker already.
And they'd hop in the truck and you would, they would go, they were day laborers, right? So it didn't surprise me that they were there doing daily raids. Okay, that doesn't surprise me a bit. And they all went ballistic. Now, here's what was very curious about the coverage of that. I had a debate with a couple of leftists on this. What I saw was what looked to me to be a police stand-down order. There was people who were breaking into, I don't remember if it was an Amco or a 7-Eleven, but they were busting into it, and the cops were on the side corner watching this go down and do anything. They didn't do anything about it.
Right.
Okay, if it got too rowdy, they clear it out, and then they let them continue. It looked like a stand-down order, like you don't involve yourself.
That's still good.
So what I think these guys have figured out is a mathematical formula, and it works like this. If the local police are not going to protect the federal buildings, then it's left to the federal police to do this, right? In this case, ICE is going to protect its own buildings. The FBI is going to protect its own buildings. If the local police aren't going to protect it and it's surrounded, then who does the protection then? And this is why Trump, he unleashes the National Guard, but where? To those federal buildings, to protect those federal buildings. That was the whole point of it. That's and basically anytime he's unleashed the National Guard that I've seen, it's to federal buildings to protect them. And so the mathematical formula works like this. The longer it is that protesters are engaging with federal officers whose job is not to do basic street cleanup of thugs, that's the local PD's job, the chances that there's an incident, which is going to be a bad incident, is going to occur. So basically, the longer you're there, the more attrition there is, the more engagements you have with these federal officers over time. Eventually,
yes,
there's going to be something which is out of pocket that happens, or something which is escalatory that happens, and they're banking on that.
Oh, so I always take that as a what? Wrestling when it's a what?
Yeah. ICE buildings in front of many states night after night after night, and it's designed specifically to make sure it's just a math formula, right? The longer we're here, and the less the local PD involves itself, the more chance of incident between federal officers and us.
You're knocking steel against flint.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
waiting for the fire.
You're waiting for sparks. And in this particular instance, this guy clearly had been very involved. I don't know if he was a part of the signal chats, but when you go to what's supposed to be a peaceful protest, and you're fully armed like that with 2 magazines, it's kind of crazy. Right, like, why do you need so many bullets?
Now that they're all pro Second Amendment too.
That is wild. That's absolutely wild, which I'm for.
He had every right. He didn't last month, but
right.
Okay.
I like it. I like where it's going. I like that because that's kind of a trap. Did you see what MSNBC did to his image?
Yeah. Where they gussied it up.
The opposite of what CNN did to me. You know, CNN during the COVID times turned me green, and they made me ugly and look like I was dying, and they made him handsome.
Yeah.
So people would be more sympathetic to him getting shot, which is kind of wild. Like, are ugly people less valuable to MSNBC?
Speaking of handsome, you know what I learned?
Crazy to me. Like, look
I'm gonna give you guys for the 9 people that's checking out the Neighborhood Superstar podcast. I like history, and I was listening to a documentary last night about the man who killed Abraham Lincoln.
Do it.
I was he was talking about handsome whatever, and I was talking about I was looking at this documentary about the man who killed Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was an actor, and he was considered as the best looking man in America.
Yeah, he was a well-known actor.
Did you know he was considered the best looking man in America? That was funny when I heard them say that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the difference.
He was
They
much
shortened
sought
up his
after, I
face.
guess.
They gave him a little bit of a tan. They widened his face a little bit.
Yeah, they did. I don't understand why they
just
did
made
that.
him a
That's so
little
fucking
handsomer.
crazy.
Yeah,
A little hotter.
they gave him a bit of that Chad
That's what
job
the news
instead.
gave
They
him.
shrunk his nose a little too,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Yeah,
they
they
did.
did.
They shrunk his nose.
Yeah.
Gave him a little bit of a handsome jaw. So he looks like an
Even made him,
American.
if you look at the shoulders, it even looks like they may have pumped up the shoulders there a bit.
A little bit. Yeah, the one on the right looks like he's a little plumper. Yeah. Yeah, they changed the tone of the color. Wild. I mean, they changed his fucking teeth, man.
Communist news
Look,
network.
they gave him veneers.
Yeah.
Look at the difference in his teeth. He's a much more handsome guy. Like, that one on the right is like the handsome brother, and the one on the left is like, fuck.
Yeah.
Why couldn't I look like
Yeah,
my
the one on the
goddamn
right.
brother?
Yeah, the one on the right. They were twins, and he took more of the protein.
Right.
Right. That was what happened. The thing is like this doesn't surprise me. By the way, this is what's going on, and this is a well orchestrated, well crafted thing.
Yeah.
And the signal chats prove that, but we knew it anyway.
Yes.
Just by
Involving
the
government, by the way.
Yes.
Allegedly, at least, involving Minnesota state government.
involves Waltz.
Yes.
So that's not alleged.
Right. That's
you
not
know?
alleged.
It's not alleged that it involves Waltz. It's not alleged that it involves Frey.
Right.
And it's not alleged. Well, what is alleged is the allegations of fraud, of course.
But there would be a reason why you would want to distract from all that fraud.
Sure.
And that would motivate you to do something along these lines. There's only one UFC 325 this Saturday, and on DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting. Once it's over, your shot to get in on the action is gone. DraftKings Sportsbook is built for live betting, not just pre-fight picks, because in the UFC, one moment